Welcome to this edition of Energy Programs with Proven Results. Today, we will be discussing our award-winning Cleaner Air for Schools program, and more specifically, our duct sealing and HVAC optimization solution for Ontario's education sector. The duct sealing and HVAC optimization solution is a vital resource for schools to increase their ventilation without costly mechanical upgrades or building disruptions. The unique solution is currently available through a provincial initiative known as Cleaner Air for Schools, in collaboration with Thomas Cole Inc. and Mohawk College. As of today, the Cleaner Air for Schools program is currently serving more than 320 facilities, 130,000 students, and over 25 million square feet of educational floor space. So let's talk about mitigating the spread of COVID-19. Industry experts and professional organizations such as ASHRAE unequivocally agree that the best defense against the spread of the virus is increased ventilation and improved filtration. However, despite ongoing proactive measures to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 in schools, the threat of current and new variants continues to present significant operational challenges for facility managers and school board officials. It is clear the need for increased ventilation is greater than ever before, and we are happy to announce that the duct sealing and HVAC optimization solution has helped schools' facilities achieve extraordinary results, some of which we will be sharing with you today. We all know that the Ministry of Education wants to see increased ventilation in every school. However, that is often easier said than done. The reality is mechanical systems are very diverse and complex, and ventilation performance is bound to vary from facility to facility. Unfortunately, there's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Typically, the fallback option has been to simply replace mechanical equipment without truly knowing if it's necessary or not. But here are the problems with that. Mechanical upgrades are very expensive. They typically have to be done during the summer months. And if you have not addressed your building's ductwork deficiencies, chances are that you won't achieve the ventilation improvements that you were hoping for anyways. Our extensive experience working with schools has shown that there are actually three main issues that are affecting your ventilation rates as of today, none of which have anything to do with the age of your equipment. Number one is underperforming equipment. This means that your equipment is functioning at optimal capacity, therefore it is not delivering the amount of ventilation it is designed to produce. Number two is under-maintained systems. This is where your HVAC unit may be working at full capacity, but there are deficiencies in your system, such as poor filtration, defective dampers, loose belts, blocked diffusers, and dirty coils that are all actively affecting your ventilation performance. And number three goes back to the hidden problems of leaky ductwork, which traditionally has been one of the hardest deficiencies to address, simply given the challenges around accessing ductwork and having the ability to properly seal any leaks. Through the process of duct sealing and HVAC optimization, we address these three key deficiencies in order to significantly increase ventilation rates without replacing equipment, shutting down schools, or creating any disruption within your facilities. So what is aerosolized duct sealing? Well, in simple terms, it is an award-winning technology out of California that is designed to seal ducts from the inside out. This ensures that all of the air being supplied and returned through the ventilation system is being delivered to the areas that students and staff occupy, rather than leaking out into ceilings, walls, or mechanical spaces which do not require ventilation. So let's have a closer look at the four-step process so you get a better idea of how we maximize the ventilation rates. Every project starts with a facility audit. This is our first site visit and where we look at the following systems. Starting up on the roof and in the mechanical rooms, we begin by inspecting your air handling units so that we can determine if your belts are healthy and properly tightened, examine whether your dampers are stuck or jammed. If there are variable speed drives, we confirm that they are operational. And finally, we inspect your filtration system to ensure it is clean and as close to COVID standards as possible. Next, our auditors will take air volume readings from every register and diffuser in the school. This allows us to compare the actual airflow in the space versus what the system is designed to produce, which typically gives us a better idea of whether the HVAC system is performing as it should and the level of duct leakage you are experiencing. For example, the system may be designed for an airflow of 14,000 cubic feet per minute, but if the actual air volume in the space is only 60% of that system capacity, then we know there are hidden issues that we need to uncover. In step 2, we begin to take corrective actions to rehabilitate your infrastructure. We start by examining your registers, diffusers, and coils to ensure that they aren't dirty or clogged, as that could be restricting airflow. We also look at the ductwork itself to determine if it has been damaged or disconnected during other projects. In essence, we remediate your ductwork infrastructure to ensure ventilation is not being lost to unwanted spaces and that your HVAC system is achieving maximum efficiency. Step 3 is where we get to put technology to work. Aerosolized duct sealing was developed by the Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory in California over 20 years ago and virtually eliminates air leakage by sealing ducts from the inside out. It has the ability to seal holes that are as small as a hair follicle, all the way up to 5/8 of an inch. As you can see here, the machine pressurizes the ductwork and releases a water-based polymer through the ventilation system. Basically, the machine is forcing the polymer down the ductwork to find any point of air loss in order to effectively seal those gaps. Again, any airflow that is being lost through the ducts is being wasted, which can dramatically impact your ventilation rates. The best part is, this process is entirely computerized. You can see here how the software tracks the sealing process in real time, which tells us the total air duct leakage rate both before and after the sealing process. This is the only technology on the market that has the ability to guarantee results and clearly quantify your outcomes. Once our technicians complete the aerosolized sealing process, our auditors will return to the school to take new air volume readings and quantify the overall ventilation improvement. A report is then provided to you that compares the airflow and air exchange rates both pre and post sealing. We also provide you with a 3-year warranty, and the product itself actually has a 30-year life expectancy. One thing to keep in mind is that this unique solution helps to strengthen your filtration efforts. Duct sealing increases the effective air dilution rate within the building, which means that any airborne droplets with virus particles are more likely to be removed, filtered, and dissipated by your MERV 13 or HEPA filters. In essence, more airflow means higher air exchange rates. The more air you are circulating back to the filters, the more effective you will be at reducing the risk of airborne transmission that may be occurring in your school. In summary, duct sealing aligns perfectly with ASHRAE's recommendations for increased ventilation. Rather than having to replace your mechanical equipment, we're able to maximize your existing ventilation at a fraction of the cost. More importantly, we effectively rehabilitate your ductwork infrastructure, which would otherwise continue to affect your overall performance, regardless of any new equipment. As we look into the post-pandemic future, eliminating ductwork leakage also allows you to maximize the efficiency of your mechanical equipment, which translates into ongoing energy savings and lower greenhouse gas emissions. Needless to say, equipment that runs more efficiently also requires less maintenance and has a longer service life. Best of all, duct sealing process itself can be completed in a typical school within a 3 to 4 day time frame, and the work can be performed during nighttime hours and weekends to ensure that schools continue to operate without disruptions to existing schedules. We currently have 71 active duct sealing projects on the go. Our ventilation reports show that schools are achieving an average airflow increase of 25%, with some older schools achieving closer to a 45% increase. These reports are publicly available at www.cleanerairforschools.com, where you will also find testimonial videos from multiple school boards who have graciously shared their individual experiences and results. It is clear that schools are quickly becoming one of the most challenging assets to manage. As you are aware, the decisions you make today will have a significant long-term impact on your buildings, your budget, your sustainability benchmarks. This solution is one of the few capital improvements that you can make that actually has a return on your investment. Here's a quick sample pro forma to help visualize the business case. Let's say that we're working with a school board that has 30 facilities and 1.2 million square feet of ventilated space. The cost to implement this solution typically works out to be an average of $2 per square foot, so the implementation for this entire school board would amount to a $2.4 million project. There are two ways to look at the benefits associated with this proven process. On one hand, we can clearly demonstrate your ventilation improvements, but as we move away from the temporary COVID-19 air exchange rate recommendations, we can begin to build utility savings into the equation, which actually provides a payback on your investment. That is not something most mechanical improvements have the ability to do. And in this particular scenario, the school board would harvest $350,000 a year in energy savings, which could then be freed up for other capital improvements or simply reinvested back into other areas where it is needed. The final piece of this puzzle is probably one of the most important aspects. We all know that prior to COVID, all sites were set on the energy performance and greenhouse gas reductions, and that eventually is going to come back into focus, and that the pressure is going to be on. The province has already made a commitment to meet our obligations under the Paris Accord, which are for us to hit a 45% reduction in carbon emissions. As you can see here, those same utility savings driven by duct sealing directly translate into greenhouse gas reductions. In this particular scenario, this school board would actually achieve an 18% greenhouse gas reduction, which represents 45% of their total carbon reduction benchmark. We hope this video has helped shed some light on our proven and engineered process, but more importantly, on the value it represents for your school board and facilities. The Cleaner Air for Schools program has been recognized with various industry awards. Our program partners continue to share in one simple goal, which is to provide healthier teaching and learning environments for students, teachers, and staff. To learn more about the program, please visit www.cleanerairforschools.com. Thank you for your time.